Hey gang, and welcome to another exciting episode of Biology Online. And today I'm going to actually walk you through my syllabus so that way we can understand what's required of you for this course. So if you log into Canvas, one of the first things you'll see is a module called Syllabus, Door Schedule, and Lab Safety Agreement. If you open that up, one of the very first files is Professor Roth's syllabus. So if you right click on that and open it, or if you click on it and download the file, you'll find my syllabus. So the first thing that's on the syllabus is just a bunch of generalized information that helps cover some of just the basics of the course. First of all, it tells you what courses I teach, something about the hours per week, all good information. But also really want to point out is that my office is Hinton Room 2. Here's my phone number. My extension is 6274 if you need to contact me from on campus, and also, of course, my email address, which is going to be something, that it will be very important for with all classes being online. You definitely want to email me a bunch. You can also email me through Canvas, which is probably the easiest way to do it. Also, textbooks and lab mails. First of all, there are no lab mails for the class. All labs are going to be done through Labster, which is an online program. And then there are some books for the class. They may or may not give to you. I don't really use it a whole lot, though I did use it to write the lectures. We don't really refer to the book that often. Any information is usually given in the notes and then through supplemental video assignments. One of the big things I want to take a moment to cover in some detail is going to be the information that's new with COVID-19, because we've had to make a lot of policy changes and just practical changes, obviously, to some of the courses. It's important that we go through this to make sure you're understanding what's required of you, just as I had to understand what was going to be required of me, because this is new to all of us. So the first thing you need to understand is that all classes are going to be done as if they were online. You simply have the option with hybrid flex classes to come to a face-to-face class if you choose to. So you do not have to come to class. You may choose to do so, but you can choose to do the class fully online. If you do choose to come to class, or you're in the building, or if you're on campus, then you can only come to classes on your assigned days. And that information can be found in another Canvas module called Face-to-Face Assigned Days. There's a file that has your name and tells you what day you can come to class. If not, email me and I'll make sure you know. If you are going to be in class in the building on campus, you must wear a face covering, and you must wear it properly. It's got to cover your nose and mouth. And if you choose to wear a shield, that's fine too. You can wear a face shield, that's perfectly fine. Because of social distancing, we've had to spread the classes out. I have 24 people in my class, but I only have 12 seats in my classroom. So those seats have been spaced out to make sure that they are 6 feet apart. Please don't move them. Also, it's up to the student sitting in the desk to clean it before they sit down. So you'll see some cleaning supplies in the front of my classroom if you choose to come. And just make sure you wipe your seat and your desk down. And there's also some hand sanitizer. It's really liquidy though, it's like water, so just be careful with it. You don't want to make a mess. So just keep that in mind when you come to class. That's going to be part of your responsibility. With these hybrid flexible classes, also called high flex classes, these are all Canvas based, these are all online based. So because of that, we're going to be using Canvas, we're going to be using Labster, which is our virtual lab program, and we can also be using Cisco WebEx, which is a web conferencing app. All of this is going to require you to have a really good internet connection and a computer that can access the internet. Not all of this can be done on smartphones and tablets. For example, Labster will not work on a smartphone and tablet. It won't even work on Safari. You've got to use Google or Firefox in order to make it work with your web browsers. So just keep that in mind, that is a requirement for the course. There are computers available for students on campus, and I think most of us at this point probably have computers at home. If we don't, just know there's computers available for you on campus, so you'll have to make use of those. Let's see. There are reasonable accommodations for people who cannot wear face coverings due to medical conditions. You have to do an ADA accommodation, though, through student services, which means you have to have a medical excuse. It has to be brought in and brought to the ADA. They'll evaluate it, and usually within 3 to 4 weeks, they get back with your accommodation. During that time, though, you'll still be required to wear a face mask if you choose to come onto campus. So if you're one of those people that needs an accommodation, please make sure you have proper medical documentation, and just realize that during the evaluation period you will still be required to wear a face mask while on campus. So it may be best for everybody if you just stay home during that time until we can get your accommodation done, because we don't want to get you sick, and if you're sick we don't want to get other people sick. The lectures will also be recorded. Not in all classes at all times, but that definitely could be a possibility as we push forward with this high flex class. Imagine going to like a web conferencing meeting, but instead of it's a meeting for business, it's actually class. So if you wanted to chime in on a live class from home, you could. And that's great, but in order to do that we have to have video recording and audio recording equipment in the classroom, which they are working on. So that definitely could be a possibility, but just know that any images taken from the classroom are only shared through Canvas, so only other people in the class will be able to access it. So having said all that, with it being a completely online class, just keep in mind this is still a science class. And nature is our biggest teacher in science. So there may be times where I have you go outside or into another building or somewhere around campus. So just keep in mind that you still may be required to go outside and move around for some of the different assignments that I may give you. I'm pretty big on scavenger hunts, especially from a lot of my students that are here on campus.